text 14 and 15, the characteristics of Puranjana. Right? So let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Adreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabho Namidam Tatradharana Para. Hare Krishna. So, text 14 of chapter 25, canto 4, we'll be discussing. Prakaropavanatala parikhair akshatoranai Swarnarapupyasai shringai sankulam sarvato grihai. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The houses were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. Purport. The body is protected by walls of skin. The hairs on the body are compared to the parks, and the highest parts of the body, like the nose and the head, are compared to towers. The wrinkles and depressions on different parts of the body are compared to trenches or canals. The eyes are compared to windows, and the eyelids are compared to protective gates. The three types of metal, gold, silver, and iron, represent the three modes of material nature. Gold represents goodness, silver, passion, and iron, ignorance. The body is also sometimes considered to be a bag containing three elements, three dhatu, mucus, bile, and air, kapha, pitta, and vayu. Yasyatma buddhi kunapetri dhatuke. According to Bhagavatam 10.84.13, one who considers this bag of mucus, bile, and air to be the self is considered no better than a cow or an ass. I was also asked to cover text 15. Nila Sfatika Vaidurya Mukta Marakatarunai Karmya Sthalim Deeptam Shriya Bhogavatim Iva. The floors of the house in that city were made of sapphire, crystal, diamonds, pearls, emeralds, and rubies. Because of the luster of the houses in the capital, the city was compared to the celestial town named Bhogavati. Purport: in the city of the body, the heart is considered to be the capital, just as the capital of a state is especially gorgeously filled with various high buildings and lustrous palaces. The heart of the body is filled with various desires and plans for material enjoyments. Such plans are sometimes compared to valuable jewels such as sapphires, rubies, pearls, and emeralds. The heart becomes the center for all planning for material enjoyments. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing on the pastime of King Puranjana, which Narad Muni is speaking to King Prachini Barhi. King Prachini Barishat, his sons, the Prachetas, they were preached to by Lord Shiva. They were so fortunate. And they started performing austerities. But Narad Muni, he saw the sons are getting so much mercy. Why should the father be bereft of mercy? Narad Muni said, I will go and give that mercy to deliver that mercy. Narad Muni is the deliverer of mercy, like a postman to King Prachini Barishat. But he had to be very tactful. How? How to preach to a king who is so immersed in fruitive activities and rituals? He wanted to transport King Prachini Barishat from ritual to spiritual. How to actually make him understand the real meanings of all the sacrifices and the yagyas that he was doing. He was a very pious king. But how to make him go beyond? First of all, there is the ego of the king. And then there is the attachment to all these fruitive activities. Narad Muni felt he has to be very tactful. And so he started telling the story of King Puranjana, which later will be revealed is nothing but every man's story, every person's story. Puranjana is like the body, is like the human being. That's the king. The soul is King Puranjana. And then it's described here that all these floors of the houses made of sapphire, crystal, all these different things, pearls, emerald, rubies, these are all different plans of material desires that Srila Prabhupada explains in the capital city called Bhogavati, of this place where King Puranjana came to this place, and he was looking for a place where he can find some solace, and he came to the city, he found some solace, whose capital was Bhogavati. Bhoga means enjoyment, material enjoyment. Bhogavati is the capital. Capital is always considered as the heart, what Srila Prabhupada explains. And in the heart are all the plans for material enjoyment. And in the heart, also, we can transform the plans for material enjoyment into spiritual enjoyment. And that's the art of bhakti. How to transform material to spiritual. How to transform the greed in our heart to generosity. How to transform the anger in our heart to tolerance. How to transform the lust in our heart to love. How to transform arrogance into humility. That is the art of bhakti, which Narad Muni is actually going to present to King Prachini Bharishat. And in this allegory, this city is nothing but the body. It's surrounded by walls and parks. And Prabhupada says that means walls and parks, walls are the skin of the body. Parks are the hair on the body. It's like grass growing. And then within it, there were towers and canals. Towers are like nose and the head, that all these, they're like towers. Canals are like the depressions in the of the eyes. Eyes are the windows. Similarly, the depressions and wrinkles on different parts of the body, they are compared to canals and trenches. And then the houses are decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. And these domes of gold, silver, and iron are nothing other than the three modes of nature. The chain of gold, the chain of silver, the chain of iron. How every living entity is tied by these three modes of nature. And because the soul is afflicted by these three modes of nature, it does not value the soul. It does not value the things that really need to be valued. One time, a person goes to the mall, and in the mall, he sees there are clothing shops and there are shops for watches and diamonds and so many different things. But he looks at the price tag. He looks at the price tag for a shirt and it says $9,000. He said, whoa, this is expensive. Then he goes and looks for the price tag for just some socks. That's $5,000. Then he looks at the price tag of the tie. It's $7,000. He was like, what's going on? And then he looks at a shop which is selling Rolex watches. He goes and looks for the price tag for that. And there the price tag is $50. What? A Rolex watch for $50? Then he goes into a diamond shop. Diamond is for $99.99. $99.99. And this person is bewildered. What kind of a mall is this? There's some socks, cheap socks. They are $7,000. And this diamond is just $99. What's going on? And seeing this, he was very, very much confused. He asked the shopkeeper, the salesman, what happened? Why is this so weird? The salesperson said, very, very important thing. He said, last night there were some thieves who came inside. And these thieves, they took some things, but they exchanged the price tags everywhere. So what was supposed to be in thousands of dollars is less than $100. What was supposed to be less than $100 is thousands of dollars now. And everything is topsy-turvy. But if we really, really look at what this is indicating, this is what's happening to our lives. Things that we are meant to, because of being under the influence of the three modes of material nature, we have lost the value. We have changed the price tags of spiritual things, which are so great. We take it very cheaply. But anything material, we take it very, very auspicious. We take it with a lot of, we put our heart into it. Our phones, they're just things, but we are so engrossed into it that we neglect our family and other human beings because the price tag has changed. It has been exchanged because of the three modes of nature. Things are meant to be used, and people are meant to be loved. But in today's day and age, it's completely opposite. We love things, we love all the material possessions that we have, and we use people. And the price tags therefore have changed. And because of the thieves who have entered our heart, the mall of our heart, they have exchanged the price tags. These thieves are none other than Mr. Lust, pride, greed, envy, anger. That's all. They just plunder, they just change our value system. And that's why we have to pray. We must chant. The only way is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and depend on Krishna. One time a man was hanging upside down from a tree, and his legs were tied to the rope. And this person, when he came to consciousness, he found himself upside down, hanging from a tree. And so he said, let me try to swing myself. And by swinging myself, maybe by the force, I may escape from this knots that are there on my ankles. And as he was swinging, and as he was trying more and more to just come up and untie himself, the more he started getting entangled. Because that's the nature. As he was swinging, the knots were becoming tighter and tighter. As he was trying to come up and try to untie the knot, he was not able to reach. But because of that act, he was getting more and more tied. Finally, he gave up. And he just surrendered. He prayed to Krishna. And he stopped trying to get himself out. He just depended. He was just suspended just like that. And because of that suspension by gravity, slowly, the knot started loosening. And he fell to the ground. All he had to do was to resist the temptation to untie himself. So similarly, we must depend on Krishna. When these thieves, these highwaymen who rob us, as Srila Raghunath Das Goswami in Manha Shiksha, he explains, these lust, pride, greed, envy, anger, these are highwaymen, robbers who have come to rob us of our real love for Krishna. And when they approach us, what should we do? We should cry out to our Guru Maharaj, to Srila Prabhupada, cry out to the devotees, cry out to Krishna, cry out to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda. Please, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please save me, please save us. I'm helpless. I cannot, when the thoughts of lust and pride and greed come, I cannot help myself. Please, I'm helpless on this. I'm depending on you. I'm helplessly dependent on you. And in that mood, we cry out and help will come. We just have to surrender. We have to stop trying to fix things ourselves. And then we will see all the dust will clear of the three modes of material nature by chanting in such a way, and then we will be able to know the real value. What is of real value, what is of less value, and we'll be able to give more value to spiritual life. One time there were four monks. These four monks, they said, let's go into a cave and perform some meditation. I said, all right, let's do it. They went into a cave. They had one candle that was lighting up the cave to whatever extent it was. It was one candle. It was lighting up. And they said, okay, we will take the Maun of Vrat. We will not speak while we are meditating. That's our vow. Let's take the vow, we will not speak. And then we'll be able to focus on our meditation much more. So it was evening, it got dark, but in their cave where they were meditating together, there was a candle, which was giving a little bit of light. And all of them closed their eyes and they started meditating. As they were meditating, a gush of wind came in, and this wind blew off the candle. As the candle blew off, one of the monks, he came out of his meditation and he exclaimed, "Whoa, the candle blew off." And then he said, "Oops," because he had broken his Maun of Vrat. He broke his vow of silence. The monk who was sitting next to this monk who broke his vow, he criticized him. "Hey, you broke your vow of silence." Oops. And this monk also broke his vow of silence by saying that this person broke his vow. The third person who was sitting, the third monk, he got distracted, he got disturbed. He started shouting at them, "Why are you both disturbing my meditation?" Oops. And he also broke his vow of silence. And then the fourth person, he looked at all of them and he laughed. "I am the only one who did not speak." Oops. And he also spoke. So we see that if we analyze, there were different reasons why each of them actually broke their vow of silence and got distracted. The first one got distracted by external conditions, by the gush of wind and the candle blowing out and the darkness coming in. His eyes were closed, but suddenly he felt darkness and he opened his eyes and he got distracted and he broke his vow. Similarly, we get distracted by attachment to material things, external things, just like this monk. And then we are not able to keep our vow of spiritual life. The second monk, he criticized the first monk for breaking his vow. And because of that criticizing propensity, he broke his vow. So we may have fellow devotees. Some may be at an advanced stage, some may be struggling to advance in so many different areas. We should always look at good in others, not criticize them. If we criticize them, we fall down. If we glorify them, we go up with them. We become what we associate with. If we associate with thoughts of criticism, bad thoughts about others, that person may be purified, but we will get that quality in us. We will get the same quality that we are criticizing because we are associating with that quality of that person. Why not associate with the good quality of the person? Everyone has a good and a bad side. But a devotee is a bee-like mentality, goes towards the honey, goes always towards the good quality. That is extremely important. Otherwise, we'll be distracted like the second monk and not be able to sustain our spiritual practice. The third monk, he got angry. Why are you disturbing my meditation? He got angry. By anger, we should avoid anger. That's one of the anarthas, krodha. That distracts us completely because of our selfish motives. And if more and more we become selfless and we become happy with others' advancement, we will get the same mercy. And then we will not be angry or envious. The fourth monk, he got distracted because of pride. He said, I am the only one who did not break my vow of silence. And while saying that, guess what? He broke the vow of his silence. Pride comes before a fall. Whenever pride comes, we should run to Krishna. Krishna, please, I'm dependent on you. I'm feeling proud of my own accomplishments. These thoughts are coming. Help me. Then Krishna will help. If we try to battle those thoughts ourselves, we will get more and more implicated like that man who was hanging upside down from the tree. If we simply follow Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. If we follow that, we will always be able to avoid distractions. We will not get angry if we humility, tolerance, and respect towards others and expect no respect in return. If these monks had followed that principle, they would not have been distracted in their meditation. Similarly, if we simply follow this, we'll be able to continue focusing on chanting Kirtaniya Sadahari. That's what this verse means. You will not be distracted from your chanting. You will be able to chant every moment. And that's the goal of life, to be absorbed in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, the holy names of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord. So this is very important. These plans of enjoyment that are there in our heart, the three modes of material nature, some are tied with the gold chain, some are tied with the silver chain, some are tied with iron chains, but we are all tied up. That's extremely important. We are all tied up. We need to understand that. In the mode of goodness, we may have more chance of practicing spirituality. But whether we are in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, we should try to simply serve and follow Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Any situation, we can choose to react in any of these three modes of nature. We know this pastime of how a seller, all of us may have heard the story of the cap seller who was selling caps, and he went and he had a whole bag full of caps, and he wanted to just take some rest under a tree. He took rest under a tree, and when he woke up, all his caps were gone. He looked up and he saw there were so many monkeys on the trees with his cap, all of them wearing his caps. And now this cap seller was thinking what to do. And guess what he did? We know that depending on which mode of nature this cap seller chooses to react, he will get that kind of result. If he's in the mode of ignorance, He'll react by getting angry and frustrated. Anger, wrath is in the mode of ignorance. In the mode of ignorance, he'll get angry, frustrated, run around, try to throw stones, so many different things. Will it work? No, it will never work. He will never be happy. He will never be able to achieve his goal of getting his caps back. He wants his caps back from the monkeys. How does he do that? If he's in the mode of passion, if he's in the mode of passion, then he may try to make a business deal. He may try to go here and there. If he's in the mode of goodness, then he will think very calmly. If he's in the mode of passion, he will try to do some business. And that's what he did. He took in the mode of goodness, he calmed down and he said, what is the best thing in this situation? And he took his cap, he threw down, and all of the monkeys threw down the cap. He collected it and went away. So we can choose how to react in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, or in transcendental mode of goodness. In the transcendental mode of goodness, we simply depend on Krishna. We perform our activities, but we are not affected by the result of those activities because we are just doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. The goal is to, in Bhagavati, in the heart, Bhagavati is the capital. Prabhupada explains in verse 15, the heart is like the capital of the body, of this body, city of the body, city of 9 gates. And in our heart are the plans for material enjoyment. But we need to place Krishna in our heart. How can we place Krishna in our heart? How can we make Krishna as the center of our activities? One time there was a person in the Middle East. He had a merchant. He had 17 camels. And he had 3 sons. They were illustrious sons. But one day this man died. And then the person who was the lawyer who was to read how he distributed his camels came, and he said, the first son will get half of all the camels. The second son will get 1/3. And the third son will get 1/9. This is what is written in your will, in the will of your father. He has written that. And everyone, all of the 3 sons were scratching their head. What? Half, 1/3, 1/9, half of 17. That's 8.5. You mean I have to cut half the camel? 17 is a prime number. I can't divide it, 2, 3, or 9. You can't do that. How do I do it? How do we do it? What? Our father didn't want us to get any camels. Why did he do this? Just then, a wise man was passing by, and he heard their discussion and their dilemma. And this wise man, he was walking with his camel, and he said, there is one way I can solve this. He said, how can you solve it? How many did you say? He said, half to the first, 1/3 to the second, 1/9 to the third son. He said, all right, I have 1 camel. I'll donate 1 camel to you. How many camels are there now? They said 18. Okay. So the first son is going to get half. Half of 18, 9. You take 9. Second son, how much you're supposed to get? 1/3. 1/3 of 18 is 6. You take your 6. The third son, how many you are supposed to take? Said 1/9. Okay, 1/9 of 18 is 2. The first son got 9, second son got 6, third son got 2. 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 2, 17. They got 17 camels. This person took his 18th camel and went away and solved this seemingly impossible situation that they were in. What do we understand? What's the moral of this story? That 18th camel is Krishna. If we want to put Krishna in our heart, we don't have to change anything. We just have to add Krishna to any activity that we do. Just like he added the 18th camel. Our life is full of puzzles and riddles and confusions, problems that we seemingly impossible to solve, like dividing these 17 camels amongst 3 sons. But as soon as we add the 18th camel, Krishna, everything gets solved altogether. So we need to, in this Bhagavati, if we just add Krishna to all the activities that we do, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, we make it Krishna conscious. We put Krishna in the center. Just add. We don't have to remove anything. Just add Krishna. Everything will start making sense. Everything will get its value back. The tags that have been exchanged, their values will come back. Srila Prabhupada would say, all the material things that we have, they have a value of 0. If you have 10 material things, 10 possessions, you have 10 zeros with you. All you have to do, if you add Krishna, if you add 1 in front of all these 10 zeros, they have value. Without that 1 in front, they are all zeros, as many zeros that you can add. So with this, let's try to put Krishna in the center and add Krishna to all the activities that we do. And in this way, the Bhagavati will be transformed into a spiritual city. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions or comments, we can take now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a beautiful class, Prabhuji. So much analysis, and it's very easy to understand your examples and so many things to learn. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
So I will request Prabhuji if you have any questions.
I was just following Narad Muni's preaching strategy. He used example, the allegory of King Puranjana. So we are following in his footsteps.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, and Devotee has any question? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Nangal Pranam.
Hare
Maybe
Krishna.
in that example which we were giving, like about those, you not mentioned envy there. So envy, it's also major part.
Yes, that's true of the monks you are saying?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the second monk who was criticizing, criticism almost always comes out of envy. So, there is a constructive criticism where you are trying to help the other person, but there is a destructive criticism that comes out of envy. Simply to point out someone's mistake, to put him down, and that's a distraction. So you are right. Envy, and the cure for envy is the opposite. Opposite of envy is to glorify. If we are feeling any envy in our heart, we should start glorifying. We should start looking for good qualities in that person. And it may be very difficult, but any good quality will help. If we replace one criticism with every two good qualities that we have, that the other person has, that we can see. That person eats prasadam very nicely. That's a good quality. That person chants Hare Krishna. That's a good quality. But looking at good qualities, glorifying them, removes the propensity to criticize, removes our envy. Does that address your question?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there are no more questions, we can end here.
It's short, Prabhuji. If no one has any question, then we can end. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.